Fourth movie of the night in my sister's bedroom. I can tell you I am very tired of talking, and my sister is very tired of me talking too, so I'm gonna try to run through Scott Pilgrim as fast as possible. And I will say it straight up. No. No, people. No, 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 no. Scott Pilgrim is not as good as people say it is. And I'm not saying it's one of the worst movies ever, but I mean, seriously, I had a lot of expectations for this movie. Like, I didn't go into this movie thinking, oh my god, this is gonna suck. I really don't. I don't. Even with the Twilight movies, I don't go into it thinking it's gonna suck. I think every movie I see, I think it's gonna be pretty good. Right? It just so happens that it turns out not so good. So I go into Scott Pilgrim, and I come up. I don't usually do this, but I came in there with kind of high expectations, because I love Edgar Wright. He's a really good filmmaker. Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite movies, and when I heard he's gonna make this movie, I mean, like, you know, I can dig it. But what he made is like, I don't know what went wrong, because like, if I had to just compare it to what Edgar Wright usually does in a movie, it's the least Edgar Wright movie ever. Because if you watch any of his movies, the kind of style he does is that the kind of humor he does is overcomplicating something, or making something so simple but make it so complex that it's hilarious. Like, the best example I can come up with is in spoilers. In Hot Fuzz, the scene where Nicholas Angel, he's trying to arrest the members of the community, and they're going off like, we kill people, and then he's going off like, why? And they say, because we want to win the best community prize. Like, that kind of humor where it's like, it's so horrible and it's so simple that it's hilarious. But he has another thing going for him: subtlety. Like, the movie, like, it doesn't really blatantly tell you what the joke is, but you kind of know what the joke is. Like, it's not so in your face, but that's what Scott Pilgrim is. It's just a bunch of in your face random jokes that I guess in theory is funny, but it really isn't. I guess, okay, and let me just cover this movie from the start. If you watch the trailer, you probably know the script. No, not script. The whole plot of Scott Pilgrim. It's basically about this guy who falls in love with this girl who has 7 evil exes, and he has to defeat all of them so they can date. You know, that's not that complex. But the movie plays out like it's kind of like on the surreal level of Alice in Wonderland, but not that extreme, but it's still kind of like that. I don't know why it's surreal, it just is. And I wouldn't say it's horrible, because, like, to me it's horrible, but that's to me, because I understand why people would like this kind of movie, but I just don't know. The movie was just a little too stupid for me, because there's a lot of scenes in the movie that when I saw it, I was just shaking my head. Like, there's a scene where Scott Pilgrim's fighting the first evil ex, like the Indian guy, and then they say, what's your special power? And then the Indian guy's like, he starts doing this Bollywood dance, and I'm just going like, this is so stupid. But the people I knew were laughing at this. Like, I'm not gonna criticize people who actually find this funny, because I understand, but to me it's not funny. It's like, it's trying way too hard, and the good jokes it has, it ruins by trying too much. Like, there was one joke in there that I felt that it was just completely ruined. Like, there was the joke where Scott Pilgrim, he encountered the woman X, the fourth X, played by Mae Whitman, and she goes like, you don't know? And then he's going like, what? I don't know. And then he looks at her, and then she starts doing this weird facial expressions, and then he's like, I understand, but then how it does it, it cuts it to his brain, or like his body turns black for a second, and there's like a meter going, he gets it. And it could have just shown, like, it could have just shown Scott Pilgrim's face going like, and then, you know, that's all you need. That's funny enough, but they had to ruin it with this overcomplication. And then there's another scene where Scott Pilgrim is, I keep saying Scott Pilgrim, it's starting to sound weird. I'm just gonna say Michael Cera. Where Michael Cera, he walks into his room with his gay roommate, and like a laugh track is in the background, and I'm just going like, so they're making fun of sitcoms now? Like, I don't know. I guess I have to watch this movie. You have to watch this movie with sort of like a childlike mind, because you can't watch this seriously. If you do, you're gonna be disappointed to the point where it's like, oh my god. Because if you watch this movie like how I did and how I usually do movies, you're not gonna like it. And if you're asking, hey, why not watch the movie without thinking too much about it, I can't, because that's not how I watch movies. You know, you can criticize as much as you want, but I can't watch a movie without making sense of it. I have to. And even some movies that don't really make sense, what I get out of those movies, at least I can kind of make sense of it. Like, I didn't really like Alice in Wonderland, but I could make sense of the story, even though it was really surreal. I just can't make sense of Scott Pilgrim. It could have been so good. It could have been so much better. They had to ruin it with all this pretentious randomness. Now I'm starting to sound like a grumpy old guy. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. It could have been so good. I'm done.